a couple years ago, and it dedicated to a man named Howard Finster. He was a Baptist preacher, and I'm sure you've seen his paintings because they're all over the world. They're in galleries all over the world. He had no training or anything else, but he painted these wonderful childlike pictures.
Coke bottle in the Olympics?
Well, if you own any Talking Heads albums, you've seen them. If you own any REM albums, you've seen this work. He's considered a folk artist. He's like Grandma Moses, I guess, or something. But anyway, dedicate this to Howard. It's called I've Got a Hope. Oh, well, I'll tell you the story about Howard real quick. Howard was this little Baptist preacher. He had to quit school. He was what we call a jackleg preacher. He didn't go to seminary or anything. He just started preaching, you know. But he was from the county I was raised in, Alabama, which juts up against Georgia and Tennessee. It's up in the corner. And Howard had to quit school, and his father died. They were sharecroppers. They were very poor. And later on, he started preaching. He preached over, although he was in DeKalb County for a while, and then he ended up in Somerville, Georgia. And when he was old, like in his 60s, old for him in those days, he became very frustrated because he said he would preach sermons and he'd go to the door to shake everybody's hand as they were leaving, and he said not one person would remember one word that he had said, and it frustrated him very much. And about that time, he started having visions, which is kind of weird for a Baptist preacher because they're not really supposed to have visions because they're dispensationalists, you know. But he's having them anyway, and the vision said the whole world is going to hear your sermons, but you're not going to preach them; you're going to paint them. And he's like, I've never painted anything. I've never painted a barn, maybe, you know. And he's like, well, no, you're going to paint them, and I want you to paint 50,000. And so he started painting, and he painted on pieces of plywood and just junk laying around, just painted, and just painted what he felt. And before he died, he painted over 100,000 pieces. They are today exhibited in the National Gallery in Washington. One of them was the official portrait for the '96 Olympics. As I say, they graced the album covers of rock stars, and they've been all over the world, literally. And each and every one of them is a little sermon. And so this is for Howard. Man is born to trouble all the days of his life. As the sparks fly upward from bonfires at night, they fill up the heavens with 10 points of light. I got a hope, I got a hope, I got a hope that is not in this world. Time it is turning like a plow in the field. The roots of the earth and what's hidden is revealed. Sowing the future while the past is sealed. I got a hope, I got a hope, I got a hope that is not in this world. Only with myself and the other half. Well, that's something I can't help. Last night I should stumble, I try not to forget that every hair is numbered, every footstep, every breath. And this life that I'm living, it will not end in death. I got it.